Alrighty, guys. So I wanted to talk about The Mist. Have you guys ever seen The Mist? I meant to see what year this came out. 2007. What?
Oh, this.
Time is flying. 2007, y'all. I had first saw this like when I used to watch TV in the back by myself because it's rated R. And the reason why I'm bringing this up because it does seem like we are living in a Stephen King movie right now. And I'm gonna take this off. This is very difficult to talk in it. The N95 mask there. So I was watching this by myself. I was just so intrigued by it. This is based in Maine. Okay, so I'll just read it to you guys. After a power storm damages their home, David Drayton, which is played by Thomas Jane, and his young son head into town to gather food and supplies. Soon afterward, a thick fog rolls around and engulfs the town, trapping the Draytons and others in the grocery store. Terror mounts. Bless you.
Thank you.
Terror mounts as deadly creatures reveal themselves outside, but that may be nothing compared to the threat within, where a zealot, Marcia Gay Harden, calls for a sacrifice. November 21st, 2007. There's a critic that says, criminally overlooked, and it states, this is one of the best horror movies in the last few years. And I would have to agree. Only part I really don't like is when you start, because this is going to be a spoiler, kind of. Yeah, it is a spoiler. It's the whole movie. But you should go see it. You could probably see this on Tubi. Probably might be on YouTube. Tubi's free. That's the app. I think I found this at Walmart probably a week ago for like $3. I said, I always wanted it. But the parts that I didn't really like is that the monsters were like so extreme and the graphics were kind of goofy with them. But you definitely got the point. And so they get trapped in this supermarket and they're trying to figure out what to do, and everybody that tries to go out, they get attacked by these monsters. Even when they kind of got warned by the guy that ran in there with a bloody nose, he's like, they took Thomas Lee, or whatever his name was. They took Thomas Lee, and people still went out there in the mist. The little boy, was asking his dad, please don't let me get eaten by the monsters. And I kind of wish that the ending was different, because the ending is like one of those ironic, unbelievable, you just, can't stand it. Like, so basically they're all through the whole movie, they're in the supermarket trying to make a getaway. And the one, they call her unstable, Marcia Gay Harden. She was the one that was reading all the Bible scriptures, and most of the crowd was starting to come around and believe her. And they were trying to make, they sacrificed the one boy. He was in, I guess that's the army, I'm not sure. He was a sweet boy, and they sacrificed him to the monster. Then, like towards the end, they wanted to sacrifice the little boy to the monster. So this is crazy. But the whole thing about it was, I'm trying to say, is that this mist thing was a government project. Hint, 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 hint. It was made by the government. That's what the MP said when he was. I think most of the creatures were spiders. That's what I'm thinking, but they were so huge and ridiculous looking. MP they made it their way next door to the pharmacy because somebody had got burned by the torches they were making, trying to keep these big flies out. And they was trying to get some silver dye or whatever that stuff is to put on burns. But the pharmacy was just covered in webs. And the MP that was in there early, he was tied up in a web. They couldn't even get the web down. The web was like, if the web got on you, it was like some type of acid thing. And the MP was still alive, and he was just saying that it's our fault. I'm so sorry, So they was doing these projects, these government projects up on the hill in this town, and all the locals knew about it, but somehow it got out of hand, and that's why I said, and I heard somebody else saying that we are really living in a Stephen King movie right now, and if people left things alone, I think we'd be in more better shape. And I was telling the kids that about when the Challenger blew up. And it was 1986, and the 7 crew members died. Some of them got schools named after them. But I'm like, even though the footage and stuff that they get, well, they could send it. Well, that's the whole daggone point. I'm just thinking, if you just left the things alone, but then again, it's kind of like, how would we have ever seen these great things, the heavens and the earth, the heavens and the universe and all that stuff? But I think my point is to leave things alone, and we probably would be so much better off. You start picking at things and poking at things, and then this is what you get, like a disaster. Now everybody has to try to find these masks and things like that, and stay in the house and school. So far they're saying, yesterday they said school doesn't open until April 24th, which probably that's not true. Seniors are going to miss their proms and graduation, so they're going to have to probably do that sometime in July. Who knows? There's no way they can do it and that's unfair for them to have to wait a whole year, and then it'd be too many people to try to do it with the next year's graduating, which is my boogies over there, aka Open Shut Up. So it's very interesting, and then people are waiting for this $1 trillion stimulus package they just approved at 1:30 a.m. yesterday. And I heard that's not even going to come out till the end of May. So yeah, y'all, I don't know, but I just really, I was just so intrigued by this movie. It kept you in your seat. Let me know if you guys ever seen The Mist. And of course, as being a YouTube creator now, the thing that I've been hearing is that the channel, the whole YouTube is being ran by bots. So you can't even say certain words because then you'll have to either change the title of your video, or you have to go and get your video manually reviewed by a human, which are probably, people, they're probably not going into the office anymore. So I know there was a lady that was saying a while ago, because I think YouTube is mostly ran by bots anyway, and this lady said she was just doing a review about nail polish, and her video, they were saying her video was not appropriate. I'm like, it's nail polish, so she had to get that manually reviewed, y'all. So it's some crazy times. I guess I don't want to tell the ending. Should I tell the ending?
Nah.
No. Okay, so if you don't want to know the ending, go ahead and click off right now. Did you click off? Did you click off? Did you click off? Did you click off? All right, so you had time to click off. So Thomas Jane here and his little boy, and there was a lady that was a teacher, then there was an elderly lady, I think she used to be a teacher, and the guy, Dan, that ran in there and warned them in the beginning. They all piled into his truck, and they tried to have more people, but they got ate up by the monsters. And they make it out the mist, and they people in the supermarket are just watching them pass by because most of them had lost their minds anyway. And they get to their house, and then he sees his wife all tangled up in the spider webs and stuff like that. But the little boy was asleep, so he didn't see that. So they hear this monster. They see this monster. It looks like a big spider, and basically he had 4 bullets. The lady had a gun that her husband had let her have when he's out of town. They had 4 bullets. It was 5 of them. So he ends up killing all of them, and then he gets out the car telling them, he's screaming like, ah! Of course he's screaming because he had killed his son, because he promised his son not to be ate by the monster, because everything was shaking when the monster was coming, like earthquake. And so I guess they was like, they knew what time it was, so all the adults, but I think the boy was still asleep when he got shot, but still. So Thomas Jane is freaking out in a car. Then he gets out of the car telling the monster to come and get me, that type of thing. And then he sees the tanks of the military coming up. They did the fog, the mist is dissipating, and they had all the people on this I don't know what you call it, but it's like a big wagon maybe that the military has with all the people on it that they got from the town. And one lady, in the beginning, she was telling them, I left my kids at home. I was only going to be gone for a few seconds. And the oldest was 8, and I don't know how old the youngest was. And she says, nobody's going to see a lady to her car. And everybody was scared. They didn't want to see her to her car. She said, I hope you're riding hell. Well, we never found out what happened to that lady. We never heard her scream when she walked off into the mist. So she was on that wagon with the kids. I was like, wow. So she made it out. And so then he sees like the military men just scorching things with fire, and he just drops to his knees and just screaming. And the military guys are looking at him like, but it's just so messed up. If he had waited a few more seconds, they all would have been alive. That's why I hate the ending to this movie. I love the movie, but I hate the ending. Don't you hate it when you hate the ending? Sounds like my life, though. I'm like, they went through all that, and he had to kill them all because he promised his son not to be eaten by the monster. And he got to live with that decision. He's probably going to be messed up for the rest of his life. Let me know if you ever saw The Mist. And they had a series of The Mist on USA, I think, but I couldn't get with that. They already canceled it anyway. I think sometimes when they make series out of things, they kind of mess it up. Not in all cases. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.